It was supposed to be just another night at the Blackwood Motel, a rundown roadside inn in Arizona that had seen better days. But at exactly 3:07 a.m., the security cameras captured something terrifying. Room 306, which had been occupied by 5 travelers, vanished. Not just the people inside, the entire room. One second it was there, the next, just an empty space, as if it had never existed. No walls, no furniture, no trace of the 5 guests. And then the screaming started. Their families waited for them. Anna and Eric, a newly engaged couple, had promised to visit their parents before the wedding. Jake, a truck driver, had called his little daughter that night, telling her he'd be home in 2 days. Samantha, a college student, had texted her mom saying, "Just one more night, and I'll be home." And David, a lone traveler, had no family, but his journal, found later, revealed he was on a personal journey to reconnect with a long-lost brother. But they never checked out, they never left. They simply ceased to exist. The motel owner, Gary Thompson, called 911, his hands shaking. But when the police arrived, they were stunned. Room 306 had completely disappeared, leaving a perfectly smooth wall where the door should have been. The beds, the luggage, even the nightstand with Samantha's phone charging on it, all gone. The footage was impossible to explain. One frame showed the room, the next frame, nothing but darkness. And then, from the motel's walls, a faint knocking began. Faint, but frantic. Something or someone was trying to get out. Anna's mother arrived the next morning, begging to see her daughter. When police showed her the surveillance footage, she collapsed, wailing, "She was just there! She was just there!" Jake's little daughter, only 6 years old, called his phone repeatedly, leaving messages. "Daddy, where are you? Are you hiding? It's not funny, Daddy." And then there was Samantha's mother, who kept sending her texts. The last one read, "Baby, you promised me you'd come home. Please, just text me back, just one word." Her phone was still ringing, but there was no one to answer. Detectives dug deeper, trying to understand how an entire room could disappear. They found something chilling, an old blueprint of the motel from 1965. Room 306 was never supposed to exist. It wasn't in the original design. In fact, it had been built over something else. A sealed-off space, a forgotten basement beneath the motel, where, in 1978, 5 people had mysteriously vanished. They were never found. 5 then, 5 now. And then as the lead detective shined his flashlight on the motel's exterior wall, faint letters appeared, scratched into the surface from the inside. "Let us out." The next night, the motel manager checked the security cameras again, and his heart stopped. Room 307, right next to the vanished room, was flickering, blinking in and out of existence. For a second, the walls seemed to breathe. Then, the screen cut to static, and when the static cleared, room 307 was gone. The Blackwood Motel was sealed off by the police, but that didn't stop the horror. Room 307 had vanished, just like 306 before it, and when the security footage was reviewed, something even more terrifying was discovered. The camera had captured them. The 5 missing guests from room 306 were visible for a split second, standing in the hallway outside their vanished room, their faces frozen in silent screams. Their mouths were open, their hands reaching out, but no sound came from them. It was as if they were trapped in a world beyond sound, beyond life. And then, just as quickly as they had appeared, they were gone. But this time, the footage didn't just end. It continued. And in the very last frame, a pair of hands emerged from the empty wall where room 307 had once stood. Something was coming back. The 5 new victims of room 307 had families, dreams, lives waiting for them outside that cursed motel. Mike and Denise, a young married couple, were on their honeymoon, a journey they had saved for years. Detective Harold, who had been investigating room 306's disappearance, had checked into 307 just hours before it vanished, leaving behind a wife and 2 sons. Linda, a traveling nurse, had a little brother waiting for her back home. And Sam, a hitchhiker with nowhere else to go, had written in his journal just the night before, "Maybe this place will be the fresh start I need. I just hope the nightmares stop." But he never got that fresh start. None of them did. They vanished. And like those before them, it was as if they had never existed, until that last frame of the security footage, until those hands emerged from the wall.